Hi, my name is David. Today we're going to do number 844, backspace string compare. This is an easy level problem on LeetCode, and I'm going to solve it in JavaScript. We have a function here, and it takes in two strings, s and t, and it wants us to return if true, if both of them are equal, or false if they're not. And the caveat here is that the hashtags delete the previous character before. So for example, this one, we have a string of s that's equal to a, b, hashtag c. So we delete the b for here, and it comes out to ac. And then for t, we delete the d before that, and that also becomes ac. So we return true. And it's a little tricky because the hashtags can stack on top of each other. So for this example, we'll delete both of them. We'll have to go, since this means we'll delete one, and this means we're going to delete one after two. And since we'll get here, this gets deleted and this gets deleted, so it returns an empty string. And then here, the d gets canceled and then the c gets canceled, so we return an empty string. And since they're both empty strings, we return true. So there's a very clever way of tackling this problem, and that's by using pointers for each of them and iterating backwards. Because we know here that if we look backwards, we can check if these keys are equal, and then we keep going through the loop. If it doesn't equal, we return false. And then it's easier to do it backwards because when you see a hashtag, we know that we'll skip the next one. And so we'll go here, we'll skip the next one, so we'll go here. So we actually move 2 spaces. And we can keep a counter for the skips as well. And let's put the pseudocode for this. So the first step is that we want to create s pointer and assign it to s.length -1. So that'll be our starting point for our loop. And then next we do create t pointer and assign it to t.length -1 for the backwards loop. And now we have to do a while loop while s pointer, so we have to do or in this case, s pointer or t pointer is greater than or equal to 0, because they both, one of them has to be true, so to keep going, or else if it's both true, it'll end too early. So we have to iterate both of these strings, and that is why we need an or here. And now what we want to do inside this while loop is that we want to check if it's a hashtag. So check if s pointer value, check if the value at s index s pointer is a hashtag. So if it is, we want to create a skip variable, like I said. And assign it to 2, because we're going to move, we get to this index value, we want to move it to a to be compared. So now we have that. Now we do another while loop. Because these hashtags can chain together, and the while will catch this. And what we want to do inside while loop is that we want to decrement s pointer, knowing that we went one step, and then decrement while skip is greater than 0 is what I mean. Decrement skip by 1. So we're going to move it 1 first, and then we're going to check if it's a hashtag. If it is, we're going to have to repeat this process and increment skip again by 2. If current value is hashtag, we'll have to increment skip by 2, and that'll repeat this while loop. And then once we finish this while loop, we don't have to go through the rest of our if conditions, and we're gonna repeat the outer while loop again, so we can do continue. So this is just checking if it's a hashtag and moving it to the appropriate S value as needed. So now we repeat the entire same process for T. So then T becomes what you want to compare. And now we compare if they're not equal, we return false. If the pointer values are not equal, return false. And then if we don't return false, we decrement both pointers. And lastly, if we make it through without returning false, we return true. Great, so let's put in code. So let s pointer equals s.length minus 1. Let t pointer equals t.length minus 1. Now we do a while loop. While s pointer is greater than or equal to 0, or the t pointer, so one of them still has to be not done iterating yet. Okay, now we check for the s hashtag. So if s, then the value of the index pointer is equal to hashtag. Create the skip variable and assign it to 2. And then while skip is greater than 0, we decrement skip. We decrement the s pointer. Then we check again if it's a hashtag chain. If the new value s is equal to a hashtag again, we increment skip. And I'll go back to this while loop. So now this gets to the appropriate precision of what the s pointer to be for the hashtags. So we can continue and go back to this while loop. Now we do the same thing for the t pointers. So if t pointer equals to hashtag, we do let skip equals 2, while skip is greater than or equal to 0, skip minus s pointer minus if, t index of t pointer equal to the hashtag, we increment skip again by 2. And then after that, we continue. Now that the pointers do not point to a hashtag, we compare if they're equal. If s pointer do not equal to each other, return false. Otherwise, we can move both our pointers back. S pointer minus t pointer minus, and then we return true if it made it all. Great, we got it. So the time and space complexity, since we're looping through the entire over S and T with the while loop here, it's going to be O of n plus m, where n is the length of S, m is the length of T, and a space complexity will be O of 1, because we're just using constant space here and not creating anything else. And that's all. Thank you so much.